Very much indeed for joining us for the Digital Government Transformation Huawei webinar. This is a webinar that's been brought to you by Huawei Enterprise in Europe, and we've got two really exciting speakers for you today, and I will also be addressing you. I am Peter Goulding. I'm what's called a global industry expert in the section that deals with government industry solutions for Huawei, and I will be the host for this particular event today. I do hope you've been fine to get into our website and onto our platform. And before I start, let me just give an introduction so you understand the platform. You will see that there's a chat box on the side there, as on most of these virtual webinars. Please feel free to ask questions, make comments, add comments that you see in the questions in the chat box, because what we will have is three speakers, short, focused, key messages over to you. And then after that, there will be a question and answer session. So please, throughout the whole of the webinar, raise the questions that you would like asked in the question and answer session, and it will be my job as a host to ensure that we get that question answered for you. And after this event, there will be a full recording of the webinar on our YouTube link at Huawei Enterprise Europe. So if you miss something, you want to see a slide, you will be able to see that in the recording. Here is our agenda. I'm going to briefly talk about some government digitization trends. We then got Marilyn, an expert in tax transformation, talking about data and technology relating to tax services. And my colleague Luca from Huawei in Italy is going to talk to us about critical backbone infrastructure, really important for governments in their digitization process. And then, of course, questions. Here is Marilyn. She'll be with us very shortly, online with us now, as well as Luca. So let me start our event by talking about government digitization trends. Well, I think what we all recognize now in this terrible uncertainty with COVID, and I do hope you're all staying safe and well, is governments and public services especially are facing real mounting challenges. The top left, we've always had this growing environmental challenge. It could be health, could be education. It's the challenges of rapid urbanization, people rushing in or working and living in cities, growing bigger and bigger. Now that trend still exists, but of course we have COVID and the pandemic, which is still causing huge global impacts and uncertainty and challenges for government services. We've seen the rapid rise and changes that goes on, and perhaps although vaccinations are on their way, this is going to be an uncertain world where government services have to adapt and change. And that's what governments want to do. They are wanting to shift the focus towards a digital economy to boost the economy in their particular area, but they also want inclusive digital society. We don't want those that have digital services and those that don't. The whole idea is, how do we capture digital services and provide that for every citizen? And then, of course, we have the challenges: cybersecurity, hackers, the constraints, but the right rules and regulations on data protection and privacy issues. And of course, when we're talking about government services, we're talking about data sovereignty concerns. Where is data held? How is it managed? So when promoting public services, the key is to improve the services, not just keep the same, but when we're digitizing services, how can we improve it? And many governments actually pull together a digital leadership team that focus on this so they can develop a digital strategy. This is a vision, objectives and goals of moving services and digitizing them so you can get information turn that data into information, to do something with it, to create action, to improve services. And that strategy can also start setting what you want to do around data sovereignty. And you'll want to, as we move around the circle, look at smart technology, improving your existing data centers, or moving services onto the cloud. We talk about campus, and I'll mention that in a minute, how you get localized connectivity, how you can use optical networking, and Luke is going to talk about that later on, IoT or Wi-Fi 6, or utilizing new services like 5G, and AI will start to come into play as we hear later. So it's about digital services, but it's also about the governance that you want to have in place as you digitize and as you do your transformation. But it's all about what we would call data intelligence or information. How do you improve things, share it, exchange it in order that you can do something? So we have a sort of technical vision, if you like. It's about efficiency, mobility, intelligence, using open standards so you can connect what we would call scenario-based government solutions, smart government, smart public facilities, smart healthcare, smart tax. And underneath this, you really want unified services. So you can unify data, applications, integration, command, where you got to control things like an emergency or disaster recovery as an example, but also how you develop things, how you enable security assurance, absolutely key. And how do you utilize most efficiently your ICT resources? That's where we can help you. So it's about building a digital government cloud platform, or a platform that enables your existing, improved, more efficient data centers over a digital government network that Luca would talk to us about, and connect it to end devices, something that senses, something you can see, something that's mobile to improve your services. It's about strengthening your core ICT. When we use the word campus, which comes from an education like a university campus, we actually mean like a large office block or an estate. It's looking at those local area networks and how you can improve that environment. That could be a port, it could be a hospital, it could be an office block, it could be a ministry, and how they independently need to be connected to data centers. And of course, we can help you improve the efficiency, lower the costs of running those. Talk to us and we can give you advice and show you the products and solutions that help you make the improvements that you want. And it's about collaboration, sharing, exchanging, using data and information in a collaborative way. And you can only do that by having a network that is implementing fully connected government services to yourself as government, to your departments, but also to citizens. The goals have to be improving working efficiency, enhancing government capabilities, improving those public services. And Luca will perhaps go into a little bit more detail about the management and control level of networks, the network levels itself, so you can get the right solutions for your need. Now, we're not spending much time in offices, but I think we're all going to migrate back to that as part of our life, hopefully soon. But it's about connecting offices, services, help centers with mobility. So wherever you are, whoever you are, you can connect and be able to manage the services that you provide internally, but also externally to all your customers. Here is just a range of products and solutions. For example, our Wi-Fi 6, very efficient in terms of Wi-Fi connectivity, easy to link into 5G networks that we provide. And in the center of the screen there, the Huawei Ideal Hub, it's what you would understand as an interactive connected whiteboard. And please have a look at that product. Really interesting. There is a lot more you can do with these displays now than you've ever been able to do in the past, which helps collaboration, sharing, and efficiencies in your workplace. And we're going to talk with Marilyn in a minute about tax services. She's going to talk to us about digital transformation. So I'm not going to go over and cover areas that she would cover. She is the expert. I just pay the tax. Marilyn is somebody that really understands the service and how you can transform it. But to do that, you need to store data. And Huawei's all-flash storage is one of the best on the market. And it's really important. Here are 3 examples from 3 different countries that are using our Huawei Ocean Store Dorado products. They want, in one country, as in all tax services, absolute reliability. You want to have no delays, really low latency in order that you can do transactions efficiently and effectively. And you also want to be able to output information quickly and efficiently with 0 interruption. So our storage facilities, as you've seen over the last few years, have really grown up the leaders table of independently reviewed. Here, for example, is a Gartner Magic Quadrant of primary storage issued last year. And you can see many governments and industries are using some of the products. Why? Because it enables the digitization of ICT within a service to make the service efficient and effective. Now, that's just a very quick opener, but I think it's more important that we start talking to some of our experts. We're now going to hand over to Marilyn in a couple of seconds, and she's going to talk to us about data, technology, and tax transformation. So although you may not be involved in tax, the issues and the points that she's going to raise can apply to any other service. Let's now hear from Marilyn. Marilyn, thank you very much for joining us. Let me stop sharing my screen and then we can hand over to you. Thank you.
Okay, thank you. Thank you, Peter. And now I'm going to share my screen. Yeah. Hi, hello. Hello, everybody. My name is Marilyn Lu. I'm tax partner of Deloitte China. Today, my presentation's topic is data plus technology, the catalyst for tax transformation. And my presentation including 3 parts. In the first part, I will introduce the big tax digital transformation environment to better explain why tax digital transformation becomes a global hot topic, and the tax authorities are transforming their tax administration model. In the second part, we'll focus on what is digital transformation situation of tax administration in different countries. And then in the last part, I will introduce the global technology and the tax administration trend based on our observation and official paper promulgated by international organization. And now I'm going to the first part to introduce the tax digital transformation environment. So the tax digital transformation won't develop so quickly, leaving the big environment. There are 4 factors pushing the tax digital transformation. The first one is the Global Transparency Initiative. Recently, there are multiple global projects such as BEPS, CRS, which are frequently mentioned in the tax world. Those projects require more extensive country-to-country cooperation and information sharing. And the second factor is the technology evolution of tax authorities. We're seeing more and more tax authorities adopting new technology into tax administration, such as big data, RPA, cognitive computing, and etc. Since the old method of tax administration hardly achieve effective tax management. And the third factors are enterprises are also seeking digital transformation for in-house tax management. We see tax operation is transforming and remodeling. Many multinational companies are reviewing their internal tax management process, functions, and considering how to leverage the existing human resources and skill set plus technology to transform tax operation so that tax team can be more value added in facilitating business development. Technology generally can release people from routine and repetitive works and turn to more complicated works which need human judges and experiences. The last but not least, COVID-19 epidemic breakout changed the way people work. Tax authorities adopting contactless tax administration approach, for example, e-filing, online tax administration, etc. Those two factors interact to promote the development of tax digital transformation. Then I will go to the second part to introduce the digital transformation situation of tax administration in different countries. First of all, I will take Chinese tax authority as example. In China, all taxpayers know Golden Three tax system. That is system used by tax authorities to levy tax and administer taxpayers. Chinese tax authorities use new technology to achieve more effective administrations. First, Chinese tax authority achieved cloud migration for individual income tax management. In China, the IAT regulation was significantly revised in the beginning of the year 2019 for the purpose to better serve the taxpayers and manage a significant amount of the personal data. Chinese tax authorities achieved achieved the cloud migration. Also, under the Golden Three tax system, tax authority began to implement e-invoices. I would like to explain a little bit that in China, there are two major types of invoice. One is normal invoices, the other is special invoice. Generally speaking, the VAT amount listed on the special invoice can be treated as VAT input to credit against the VAT output to calculate VAT payable amount, while the normal invoices generally cannot serve for VAT input deduction purpose, although there are several exceptional cases. So a government take tighter management on special invoices without implementing e-invoices. But several years ago, Chinese tax authorities has rolled out normal e-invoices. It lays a foundation of implementing special e-invoices in China. The third one is under the Golden Three tax system, tax authority connect data to the great extent. Golden Three tax system managed connect with system of other government authorities, such as Social Security Bureau, Public Security Bureau, Customs, and etc. for information sharing and validation. It also possible under the Golden Three tax system to connect taxpayers system to tax authorities system. And the fourth one is tax authority also adopt intelligence technologies such as face recognitions, automatic speech recognition, natural language understanding to administer and serve taxpayer. In this slide, I will just roughly introduce the Golden 4 tax system. Thanks tax authority now, they are planning to upgrading the tax administration system. Under the Golden 4 system, the major consideration for the system is including three aspects. One is tax authority will take taxpayer as center to better serve taxpayers. The second one is tax administration will take data as foundation. The third one is the system will be driven by new technologies. And then in these slides, so I will introduce tax digital administration of other countries with the order from west to east based on the world map. First of all, in Europe, the trend demonstrates a move towards e-audit and the delivery of standard audit file. And in Africa, like in Angola, the standard audit file for tax is mandatory used for taxpayer to produce a standard file in XML format related to the billing, accounting, and inventory. In Namibia, tax authority use a new system known as the Integrated Tax Administration System since January 2019. The new system is meant to make tax service accessible 24 hours a day, ensuring taxpayers submit information in the most convenient way. In Asia, like in Thailand, Director General of Revenue, that is the name of tax authority, issued a notification for a new rule, procedures and conditions for preparing, issuing, and storing electronic tax e-invoices and electronic receipt e-tax invoice system. And in Indonesia, e-invoice is also mandatory. And then let's go to Africa. So like in Brazil, Brazil already implemented a public system of digital booking to replace paper invoice in tax records. The system comprises 3 pillars, including electronic invoices, digital physical bookkeeping, and digital accounting bookkeeping. In Mexico, tax authority introduced the e-invoices in 2014. Similar to Brazil, invoices need Mexico tax authorities' electronic seal to be valid. Moreover, tax authority required tax return, accounting records, and other reporting obligations are all filed in XML format. In these slides, we summarize our observation. We observed the digital transformation of tax administration, including similarity in 3 areas. The first one is many tax authorities are applying technology to enable tax administration. They are trying and deeply thinking the appropriate digital transformation approach. Due to different tax mechanism, the digital transformation rules of different countries may be different, but adopting technology to enable tax administration is the trend. The second one is data become important asset of tax administration. Tax authorities are using data to better serve taxpayers and make more efficient management. And the third one is the digital government is the aim of many tax authorities. Data and information are getting more transparent. The barrier for information sharing among government authorities, among countries, is becoming smaller. And then I will go to the last part of my presentation. I will introduce several technology and the tax administration in global area. The first one is cloud service. The first cloud, it can reduce the cost of developing the tax system, developing the testing of system. It allows business and individuals to access on-demand IT service over a network without making a large investment. Cloud can also provide access to advanced analytics and AI-based solution to respond to more data processing requirements. That is the first one. And the second one is e-invoices. Many tax authorities in different countries are implementing e-invoices, such as in China. So as I just mentioned that, since the year of 2015, government in China already implement normal e-invoices. In the year of 2020, they began to carry out a pilot program for special e-invoices for newly established enterprises. It is anticipated that the implementation of special e-invoices will roll out all over the country soon. Yeah. E-invoices can provide structured data for transactions, which pave the way for further utilization of data for analysis. The third one is big data. Big data become an important means for effective tax administration for tax authorities. Tax authority can turn data into business assets using predictive modeling. Tax administration are looking for ways to effectively collect, secure, analyze, and manage structured and unstructured data. It helps to maintain compliance, empowers tax policymakers to make decisions. And the final one is mobile connectivity. Improvement in mobile technology have made online access possible for people who were previously unable to afford fixed broadband connection or found it's difficult to use computers. Many young adults spend much time every day online with instant messaging and social media, enabling an always on lifestyle. Mobile connectivity contributes to always-on behavior, such as in China. Chinese tax authority, they develop software and provide it to public for individual income tax self-declaration. Individuals can download software for free, which automatically can generate personal information. People can use a mobile phone to declare individual income tax anytime, anywhere. Mobile connectivity make tax declaration more convenient. And then I go to the end of my sharing. So so in summary, my today's presentation, I share with you about how technology and data catalyze the digital transformation of tax administration from the perspective of big environment, digital transformation situation of tax administration in different countries, and the global technology and the tax administration trend. And then I finished the presentation, and on these slides you can find the contact information of tax partners in Deloitte China for tax digital services. Yeah, and then up to now, so Peter, I'm finished my presentation. I'm going to pass it back to you.
Lovely. Marilyn, thank you very, very much indeed. We really appreciate it. I've learned so much about tech services in your short presentation. Really impactful, very, very happy. Thank you very much indeed. You gave us a lot to think about. So there's the huge trend, not just in China, across the world around invoices, digitization of tax services. And we may want to ask you some questions about some of the analysis that you can now start to do utilizing big data because you've digitized this service. And I really like the point that you finished on. It's about accessibility. It's about enabling citizens to easily access and do things that they have to do and get responses. That's really wonderful. Marilyn, I'm sure, and I know there's some questions coming in to the chat box. We'll talk to you later, but let me now turn to networks. This is an area where I do not really understand. I'm totally honest. I have a plug socket. That's about all I know about networks and connectivity, but we've got an expert. Can I introduce you all to Luca, my CTO colleague from Italy, who has an abundance of experience in networks and can actually drill down and inform us what we can do. Over to you, Luca.
Thank you, Peter, and welcome to everyone. And thanks for this opportunity to show you and introduce the main point about what the network, how the network can help for the digital transformation. I think that everyone at this moment is defining the network like a commodity, and everyone is thinking about how to make the digital transformation on the application layer. But we have not to forget that without reliable, fast network, no one can design the application, no one can make an involvement in the application layer. So in the slide, we can see here that at the end, in the new normal, in this period, everyone is looking on the digital transformation. The habits of the people is changing, and the people needs more digital service and change the user experience. But at the end, everything transform, everything converting a requirement on the network side. At the end, the network should be reliable, because we need application that might need the transformation, might need to be assessed everywhere, anytime. We need dedicated services. We need the dedicated service for each department in a company, or we need dedicated services for a specific application. And for sure, we need open ecosystem for the allowing all the application interact all together in an open ecosystem. So at the end, how to convert the requirement on the application layer and on the change that the people are asking on day by day, how we convert this requirement in the network requirement. So at the end, for sure, the simplification, the simplified network is the main requirement. Simplified network means that you will have easy management, you will have easy design, and even in case of any issue in the network, you can easily understand where is the issue. So easy network, simplified network is the main point, the main target everywhere in the network transformation. Optimal network, for sure, it should be high quality, high performance, really reliable, and this will help to carry on the services and the digital transformation that every company is thinking about. For sure, the security, end-to-end security, this is another important point. Security everywhere, security in the data center, in the interconnection between the network, and even in the interconnection between the companies. And something that is really connected to the simplified network, and it is intelligent O&M. So for sure, we need something that can help us operating on the network itself, something that can drive us in the maintenance of the network itself. We jump and we move forward in the network evolution, network transformation with this concept of intent-driven e-government network solution that is based on a multi-layer solution. And for sure, at the end, in the center of the network, the brain of the network is always our network cloud engine, our SDN controller, our management system, our operation and maintenance system that with future-proof protocol can interact with the network, with the layer where the network is deployed, with the services are deployed, and with the device. At the end, as we say before, simplified network is the main trend. Some protocol where Huawei is, let me say, leader, market leader, will help and are helping in this simplification of the network, like the summer routing v6, like the EVPN. So this protocol will help in the new design. For sure, reliable network, a resilient network, it's another important concept. We cannot expect any fault on the network, because if everything is moving on the network itself, we have to guarantee 100%, almost 100% network reliability. The quality is another important big point, another concept where we have to assure the network performance, the QS, that all the application can do and can work together at the same time. Security is the point that we touched before. We need comprehensive end-to-end solution for the security inside the network, inside the virtual network, the application layer, and end-to-end in the interconnection between the network itself. Intelligent operation and maintenance. Based on our NCE, network control engine, we can operate easily in the network in order to help the network administrator, help the application to have a better experience. One of the main concepts Huawei is promoting, and even the market is promoting, is the concept where the government at 360 degrees is evolving the network. The network started from MPLS network with many leased line services provided by the carrier, service provided by operator, where government is thinking about, and the evolution is mainly on creating own backbone, creating high performance backbone based on optical network, where you can have the flexibility to deploy the new services with high bandwidth, with more than 10 years a future-proof network, and where you can easily design, and we will see in the next slide, the different services. So the evolution, for sure, on top of the optical network, you will have always the evolution of the MPLS, like a semi-routing v6, but at the end, the basic is the optical network, where you can increase the bandwidth. You have a reliable network with less than 50 milliseconds switchover in case of issue. And this is really important in order to build sustainable network and create on top the digital transformation of each government. Optical network, where Huawei again is leading, like in semi-routing v6 in the market, where Huawei introduced innovative liquid OTN technology. So that is an evolution of the OTN, where even Huawei was, let me say, market leader. OTN was designed in order to create a flexible service, but at the end there are some limitations. And due to this, Huawei designed a new liquid OTN technology that can support slicing, can support, like the terms liquid, like the water, can support easily adaptation of and update of the network state with the minimum slices of 2 megabit and the possibility to have slice and bandwidth allocation in a very simple network, in a very simple way, always managed by the NCE, that can help to have end-to-end design and end-to-end maintenance. This is really important because thanks to this new technology, liquid OTN technology, the government can save a lot of money, can optimize the usage of the network, and can assign to each department, to each application, a specific bandwidth in, let me say, hardware-based solution. The possibility to extend the optical network from the regional ring, from the national ring to the city becomes a huge important point where you have to deploy where you have to think to deploy the optical network that is pervasive, omnicomprehensive network that can connect all the device, all the sensors, that we may deploy in the smart city. Smart city is concept where you have a lot of application and a lot of IoT sensor running on the network, and again, simplify network, and this is important concept in order to have end-to-end design. We spoke about Liquid.TN for the core, let me say, for the regional ring, even for the core in, let me say, in the smart city, but at the end, in order to deploy pervasive capability and fiber connection, we have to think about FTTH technology, where OLT can be the center point, the convergent point, where all the fiber will be connected to different sensors, different terminal, and then we can add thousands of terminals, thousands of applications. This is really important. Optical network can provide end-to-end services with separate services, with separate bandwidth and committed bandwidth, in order to create flexible and future-proof solution, where in the future you need more bandwidth, you need new services, you will design new services, you can just add a wavelength in the optical network, end-to-end. You can have easy cross connection between OLT on the layer 2 to the WDM network, in order to realize new end-to-end services. As I said before, our NC, that is also our SDN controller, it's really important. It's the brain of the network. The brain means that you can design, thanks to AI algorithms that are implemented in the iMaster NC, you can design routine, you can design new services, and this can be easily designed in, let me say, a web page, and then the algorithm, the logic that is embedded in the SDN controller can easily deploy and convert all this configuration, high-level configuration, in configuration to be configured on the network itself, on the device itself. This is a solution that can support you in the automatic service provisioning, and you can visualize, thanks to the algorithm implemented in the O&M section, you can visualize the real-time, in the real-time way, you can visualize the latency, you can visualize the occupation, the bandwidth, and any congestion point, if any issue on the network. And this is really important, because at the end, a simplified network means simplified operation and maintenance, and how make it easy is thanks to our iMaster NC that can support easy end-to-end management, easy end-to-end provisioning, and can help, I say again, with AI algorithm that Huawei designed in the past years, and with a lot of experience around the world, we design AI algorithm can drive the troubleshooting and can help in the provisioning itself. At the end, if we want to convert, let me say, all these high-level discussion in device, we have end-to-end solution and device that can support end-to-end optical network. We start from our, let me say, most innovative enterprise platform, that is our OptiTrans DC908, that is our solution in order to support easy optical network management for the data center interconnection, for the complex WDM network, metro and regional ring. And this is something that can support the evolution, jumping to the on the right to the access part. As I said before, if we need a really huge deployment and connected to every sensor, every light, let me say, every device in a city, we need FTTH. We need a solution that can support deep connection on the fiber and sharing, as GPON FTTH can do, on even point to point, can do sharing on the connection and the sharing on the fiber. Huawei, as I said before, it's a market leader not only in let me say in the patent in terms of evolution, like the liquid OTN, like as I said before in the MPLS, in the IP domain for the Cyber Route EV6 and the EVPN, but Huawei it's even market leader for the SACE, and we are number one in the data center interconnection. We are number one in the optical transmission and in the optical domain. We are the number one for the next generation optical access domain, and we drive the market. We lead the market in terms of capability, in terms of sales, and I think that the main point is, thanks to the investment, huge investment that Huawei every year do on R&D, we continue to drive the solution, to evolve our solution, providing new solution to the customer, to the government customer, in order to make the network easy and more reliable. For sure, another trend that jumped to the point, to the network evolution, digital transformation is inside the office. Inside the office, Huawei lead thanks to the Wi-Fi 6. Wi-Fi 6 that was, let me say, launched, the first came in 2018, first in the market, almost 1 year before all the competitor. And thanks to this advanced technology, Huawei can assure now a huge experience, a lot of success case around the world, in the university, in the government, in the office. And thanks to the Wi-Fi 6, Huawei can design a network reliable and where all the services can be deployed easily inside the office. At the end, we can always, thanks to the support of iMaster&C, we can always have a simplified design and easy maintenance. And thanks to the algorithm, AI algorithm, we can optimize continuously 24 hours by 24 hours the network, the usage, and the power consumption. This is very important on the Wi-Fi network. Huawei, it's, let me say, best choice, customer choice, thanks to the Gartner Peer Insight on 2020 for the campus solution, where we have Wi-Fi 6 and campus switch. We have important market share in the enterprise market for the campus switch, and we are leading the Wi-Fi 6 market. Thanks to we launched, as I said, the first generation of Wi-Fi 6 in 2018. Last year, in February, we launched the second generation, where we design a solution, high-end solution that can guarantee 100 megabits everywhere, thanks to the support of the iMaster&C. And now we're on the market with the third generation of device. And we are promoting Wi-Fi 6 with this 100 megabit everywhere concept. Our Wi-Fi 6, thanks to the support of our team and our colleague, empower with the 5G technology. This is a leading technology inside the Wi-Fi 6, Huawei Wi-Fi 6, Unix technology that can really improve the quality and the experience inside the network. Thanks, Peter. I will leave you back the speak, and thanks all. I'm available for any question by chat, and so we will answer to you quickly.
Lovely, Luca. Thank you very, very much indeed. You talked about simplified networks. You have done the task. You have simplified networks for me. I really understood that on what appeared to me to be a very complex subject. Congratulations. Thank you very much indeed. You demystified an awful lot for me. And I'm going to go into some short questions that I've picked up from the chat. Luca, I'm going to throw this one at you. It's just come in. when building core network infrastructure for governments and cities, how can customers really evaluate which technologies are the best to support this digital transformation? What's your view on that?
Yeah, as I said in the presentation, for sure, we have three main technology that can help in different places for the digital transformation. Coming from the last one I spoke about, it is the Wi-Fi 6. Wi-Fi 6 that is, let me say, the new standard for the office and let me say indoor environment coverage. That is the new standard for the communication. And thanks to the capability of our Wi-Fi 6 device, we can really guarantee the high reliable, high performance network to all the device. We design the chipset by ourselves with the huge support of our R&D. We include our patented technology coming from the 5G, from our experience on the 5G, like the active antenna, like the chipset that can support very low latency application. And we have a lot of use cases where these, let me say, innovative technology that you cannot find in the standard, but that Huawei put on our device can help a lot in the digital transformation. Coming back to the other two technology that can be, let me say, used in the regional network or in the campus, in the metro network, there are the optical solution and the evolution of the MPLS with the usage of the segment routing V6. Again, these technology are really important in order to design and to support the growth of the traffic and the requirement in terms of reliability of the new application. If we move to the digital forward in the digital transformation, it means that everything we became digital. But at the end, the main important point is that the under layer of the digital application is the network, and the network must support in the best way all the application, because if we have an issue on the network, all the application that is only digital, at the end will have issue. So we are moving to the digital because everything is smarter, it's easier, but at the end, many people forget that the underlayer, the network, the optical network, the MPLS, the IP network must be upgraded and must be adapted to support this huge traffic and these important new requirements in terms of reliability and efficiency.
Luca, thank you very much. Now I'm going to turn to Marilyn in a second. I'm going to ask you a quick question before I go over to tax. You talked about a really interesting subject, just briefly, network slicing. I've heard quite a lot of that in a 5G world. You seem to be putting it in a much wider context. What's the real benefit for a customer around capabilities of network slicing?
I think that the question is for me again.
Yes.
Sorry. Yeah, the slicing is an important concept. You are right. It's come from the 5G, but at the end, it's end-to-end concept. At the end, again, the 5G is just part of the network, and in order to have end-to-end slicing, you need to think about even in the core network. Slicing can allow all the companies, the government company, private company, to design new digital application in order and can help to segregate, to increase the security, to segregate the traffic, to guarantee high bandwidth, to be flexible in order to provide different quality of service and different KPI to different application. We can think about low latency application that needs really low delay and packet loss, and we can think about some specific application in the smart city. We can think about some specific application in like augmented reality and so on, for the easy maintenance, for the tourism in the museum. So we have a lot of application with different requirements, and thanks to the network slicing, we can create a different virtual network in the same pipe, and we can provide different KPI, different capability to each application. This is a key point in order to save money, because you have not to realize a deep parallel network to transport different applications, but in an easy way, you can define pipe inside the network, in the same network, and guarantee this KPI to all the applications.
So quality of service is one of the key issues. Saving money in investments are absolutely key. It can be very efficient. Luca, thank you very much for the moment. I may come back to you in a minute. Marilyn, thank you again for joining us. I got a question about tax. It's really about applying the digital tools in tax administration. What's the sort of impact on the tax operation?
Yeah. So it's a good question. I think tax in the tax world, transformation is not only for tax authority but also for enterprises. Like in China, tax authority, they adopt new technology and advanced technology to administer taxpayers. That in turn pushing taxpayer to adopt new technology to improve their tax management. And in China, since the year of 2016, Chinese tax authority make a VAT reform. So all our turnover tax become VAT. And then a lot of big companies, they're using digital tools to handle their tax matters. After adopt tools, more and more tools, they're considering how to differentiate the work that can be done by the tools, such as like a tax return generation, like data analysis. With tools, they can manage the tax matter more efficiently. But some other works like MAD, like a tax strategy determination, so that work cannot be done by the tools. That still need experiences and judgment. So and then the tax leader need to consider how to differentiate those works, and also based on the team, they need to how to manage the team to release from the previous work to the more complicated work, so that they can better serve the overall purpose of enterprises. So tax team is becoming more and more a BP of the business. So I think that is may impact on the tax operation. Yeah.
Marin, I think that's such an important point that you raised there about, so it's not about reducing work count, head count, people who work in tax. When we digitize, we can move them off routine activities into something more important, where they can really utilize their skills and they can upskill higher and provide a better service. Is that right?
Yes, that's correct. That's correct. In China, like in big multinational company, they sometimes hired very experienced professional in-house, but due to some routine matter, so they have to do some very routine work, like check invoices and spend a lot of time to check what's the problem. Maybe it's very low level error, but spend them a lot of time. So actually that is waste of talent. But with digital tools, actually they can use to do that repetitive or a time-consuming job. And then people can be released to do more value-added work. So I think that is the value provided by the tools and technologies. Yeah.
So a side benefit is better job satisfaction for staff working in tax services. You're making their employment richer. You're not making people unemployed, and that's quite an important issue in certain regions of the world where employment is a real challenge, isn't it?
Yes, exactly. Yeah, exactly.
Oh, brilliant. Can I just focus on another question, and then I'm going to throw something back at Luca about storage, because a question came in about that. Marilyn, could you sort of give us an idea about the data analysis? You talked about you're able now to have the structured data, you're able to do analysis. What sort of analysis are you able to do once you've digitized this service that you had great difficulty doing before?
Yeah. A lot of area, such as, previously I have around 10-year working experiences in industry, I got problem is, when we reconcile the difference between tax and accounting, it could be very, very tough job. Things we have a lot of data. So maybe sometimes I need to, one tax authority let us to provide breakdown for the difference between tax and accounting. So we may trace data for several years, and it can spend my team maybe like several weeks or even several months to figure out why the difference generated. But if we can adopt digital tools, we can lack the software to do that. Yeah.
Lovely.
So sometimes, yeah.
Sorry. I know we're running short and I have to close the webinar in a couple of seconds. One final quick question to Luca. I talked about all flash storage for tax. Can Huawei's all flash storage be used for other services, Luca?
Yeah, sure. This is quite important. The Huawei all flash storage is leading in the evolution on the digital transformation, not only in the tax market, but we can think about healthcare, we can think of our education, research centers. So there are a lot of area in the government or in the private sector that Huawei all flash storage can really help on the digital transformation and of all the application. Sure.
Ladies and gentlemen, I'm going to draw this to a close, but before you'll dash away, there's a couple of very important points. I need to thank our speakers, Marilyn and Luca. Thank you very much indeed for all the time beforehand and your time today. Really appreciate your expertise. I want to thank all the participants for joining you. Now we've put up in front of you here a survey. We would really please like you just to fill in our survey. The feedback is really important to us in order that we can focus on other sessions and things that you really want to hear about from us so we can provide a better service to you. But thank you very much indeed for joining. Take care. Stay safe, everybody. We look forward to seeing you at another Huawei European webinar event.